What is up guys, it's your boy Rant here today with another fantastic news video. So, as you know, we talked about it last week. Japan actually banned few cards in expanded format. Those cards were Chip Chip X, Flabebe, and few others. Well, on November 15th, right? I'm gonna check the date exact, but yes, starting November 15th, those bannings are gonna apply to our expanded as well. How cool is that, right? So finally, they are applying those expanded bannings to our expanded format. So starting November 15th, in our expanded format, the cards that are gonna be banned, I have the list in front of me right now, are going to be Chip Chip Ice Axe. Of course, that is expanded, not standard. Flabebe from Forbidden Lights. Island Challenge Amulet from Cosmic Eclipse. Lieutenant Sarge's Strategy, expanded. Marshadow with Let Loose. Of course, hated all over the world card. Miss Magus from Unbroken Bonds, a red card from Generations, Reset Stamp, and Unknown from Lost Thunder. Like, those are gonna be cards that will be banned, and you will not be able to play them in expanded format starting November 15th. But this means this weekend in Richmond, actually you can play those. So if you want to do a handlock, well, you still can, right? But what is more, I think we should touch this topic in this video because I think it's more important. There's no bannings in standard, and this is bad. Like, I honestly thought when I saw that, I'm like, oh, okay, bannings, wow, standard, finally they're doing it. No, they are not. So still, Chip Chip Ice Axe, the whole, like Mew 3 handlock in standard format is playable. Like, what a BS is that? I mean, they are saying, oh well, we don't want people to don't have a hand before they're gonna start a game. That's why we're doing bans and expanded. Sure, but it's the same strategy in standard format, because like majority of those cards that they are banning, we've got Chip Chip Ice Axe, Flabebe, Island Challenge Amulet, Sarge, Miss Magus, Reset Stamp. Those cards are in standard format. You've got Jesse and James that was banned in expanded. You've got a Weezing, all of that stuff. So there's a ton of cards and strategies that are really good, because I mean, we've all seen the Mew 3 deck that is a handlock. So okay, for those who don't know why I'm so angry at this and why I'm so like into banning those cards in standard, or don't know what handlock is. So handlock deck is basically, you want to play the game, but this deck goes first, and well, before you're gonna play your first turn, you don't have cards in your hand, and they've already Chip Chip Ice Axed you, so you're not gonna draw anything that will help you. You will not draw a supporter, you will not draw anything. They are controlling. So before you're gonna play your first card, you kind of lose a game because you have none. And they are controlling your draws. They exactly know what you're gonna draw. They are picking this with the Chip Chip Ice Axe and other strategies. With with the help of Miss Maggie's, Lieutenant Sarge, Jesse James, like there's so much more to that. So that is what is infuriating to me, because I hate that, because this is this will make a lot of people hate the game if the strategy is going to be utilized a lot. And that's what happened in Japan. They banned it. They're applying those bans for our expanded, but they're leaving out standard, even though there's still the same freaking strategy in standard. Like, that's why they banned in the past Puzzle of Time, Delinquent, all of those stuff, to prevent this from happening. And they are preventing this from happening in expanded while not doing the same thing in standard. Like, they look at the standard format and go like, well, handlock is okay, dude. Expanded, we got only like 3 tournaments per year, yeah, we can ban there. No, we have to do bans in standard format. Like, they are a necessity at this point, because when you're banning, honestly, because well, this is the most bans we had in many years right now. And if you're banning like, let's look at the list. Reset Stamp, that's 1, that's 2nd, Miss Magus, that's 3rd, Sarge, 7 cards that are still in the standard format, and There's still Jesse and James that is banned, you know, Lucamine. So there's like 9 or 10 cards that are still playable in standard format, and you're banning them in expanded. This means that these 10 cards can still do harm standard format. Like, they can still destroy the enjoyment of the game for many players. Like, we've seen, you know, people unfollowing streamers. I'm sorry, whoa, I've spit on the camera. Unfollowing streamers because they were like, oh, this is the best deck ever. No, it's not. Like, this is just wrong. This is bad. And TPCI, we need to stop that. Because if you're stopping, you know, the same thing in expanded, right? You're stopping handlock. Just be consistent, you know, just have something there and ban it in standard format. Just ban it, because there's just nothing worse than sitting in front of your opponent, IRL or online. You have your hand and you just go like, you see what they're doing, you go like, oh, screw it. Pfft. I have no hand, I've lost. But I feel like, you know, for them to ban it in standard, someone has to take this deck and just go and win the tournament. Or like, the whole tournament should only be those decks. Then they'll be like, maybe we're gonna ban one card. Because this is scary to me, because if they are, you know, not saying they're banning in standard, so Island Challenge Amulet is going to be in the format as well. So this is going to become even more toxic as it is right now. I know it's kind of a rant right now, but everyone who played against this deck knows what I come from, right? I hope you do. If you're not, well, you're super lucky you haven't played against this deck. If you haven't, I think, you know, I've played it during one of, like, I was doing one deck, I don't remember which deck that was, and I played against this deck, so it's one in one of the videos, and I went into super rant there as well. It's just, if you're saying to everyone, like, hey, this strategy is bad, that's why we're doing it in expanded, why you're allowing the same strategy in the standard format? I just don't understand it. I just can't. I want to understand it. I want to know what is their TPCI sometimes, but I just can't understand it, because it's just not healthy for the game. If you have, you know, people that play expanded are already well-established players. They know what they're doing. Like, they have the collection, right? So why, you know, you're protecting those guys instead of, you know, protecting the standard people? Because, well, guess what? The brand new players, they only play standard because the theme decks, because of, you know, the Battle Arena decks, because 95% of leagues around the world only do standard. Okay, 90 maybe, right? Like in my country, 100% only standard format. So people do play standard majority of people do play standard format. And if you have the brand new player who is just starting out and he's seeing those tactics, he's either gonna go and join those tactics and he's gonna play them, as you've seen a few times on you know, brand new streams, like brand new streamers doing, which is, again, guys, if you're doing this, just please stop. Like, there are people unfollowing you, hating you, you know, on forums everywhere for doing that. Please just stop. Or you have new players that are just quitting the game because of that. And like, this is, you know, the reason why I'm wearing Team Raven t-shirt, because Team Raven is not standing for that. I hate it. I mean, honestly, I love the game so much that I just can't stand them just treating standard format as they're treating it. Because I know there's a lot of people playing expanded in, you know, in online. Sure, there are expanded tournaments coming, sure, but there's like 4 of them in the whole 2020 season, and you've got so much more of standard format. Like, if that is your primary, because that's the thing, I have nothing against expanding people. It's good that they're doing it there, so you don't have to suffer it, right? You have, you know, other decks that you suffer. But what I'm saying is, if majority of your tournaments, if majority of the format is standard, right? Protect those guys first. It's like, it's no-brainer, because standard guys are bringing you money. Because even from financial point of view, standard guys are bringing you money. We are buying, like we as standard players, we are buying boxes. We are buying the brand new set. You know, okay, everyone's going to pre-release it, that's beside the point. But we are spending so much money because, you know, if there are people that are only playing expanded, they are smart. Like they're gonna wait until the set is gonna rotate out from standard to just buy it, because then it's cheap, right? But we have to buy stuff as it's at its peak, at the most expensive. So we're not only like the standard players, like competitive, spend the most money. Well, okay, you know, with the amount of product TPCI is pushing, but we are just, you know, getting screwed over by freaking a handlock. Well, expanded. Oh, sorry guys, you know, we screwed up bans. No, and honestly, I feel like they know this is the problem in standard. They're just not caring enough about it. Because, let's be honest, if... Wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So if... So red card and... is there anything else from Generations? No. So if 8 bans out of 9 are from standard format, right? Like the cards are still in the standard format. 1 not even released yet. Out of 9 that you're banning, you see the problem. They know. But it just hurts me so bad. I'm sorry that it went into a rant. It shouldn't, but it just annoys me that they're allowing this toxic strategy. Because again, Zoro Arc, you know, Night March, Lost March, like those strategies, okay. Like, I mean, at least you can do something. At least you can play this 1 or 2 cards. But handlock is just the most toxic thing I've ever seen. It's kind of similar to, you know, the endless loop of your turns in Magic the Gathering, when you have, you know, endless loop, like when you can, like there was a card a year ago, I don't remember, Nexus of Fate, I believe, and you just do an endless loop of your turns. Like that's one of those, but at least, you know, you have to build up towards it. Here, imagine you don't even have to build up towards it, because you're just destroy it from the beginning, like from the get-go. It's like, oh, you just drew a fantastic hand. Well, sorry, you don't have a hand. And you're gonna draw energy for the next turn, because I've said so. We need those bans in standard. And with that, I'm gonna leave you guys. So thank you guys so much for watching. Sorry for the rant, but someone had to. Goodbye, and good night. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Bye.